Sometimes you need a little bit of inspiration. Sometimes you need a lot. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the shop. This is our 2013 Mitsubishi FUSO FG that I'm slowly turning into an overland camper. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to see this truck running and finished. And trust me, there's nobody who wants that more than myself and Krista. The build is progressing so slowly that sometimes it even feels like it's going backwards. From time to time, we could use a little reminder of why we're doing this, what the end goal is, and why it's so worth doing. Recently, we were lucky enough to get a visit from the perfect example of all of these, and I thought, I bet you there's some other people out there who could use this inspiration too. So let's go check out Stephen and Caroline's EarthCruiser Molly 42.
Hey, come on in.
So which model of EarthCruiser is this?
This is the EarthCruiser FX.
Okay.
So the fixed top EarthCruiser.
And bed in the back with storage underneath the bed.
I can show you quickly a little bit of storage there.
So pops up, storage underneath there. And you have access on the outside to underneath that space, right?
Yes, so we can't get from here to the outside, it's locked off, but there is more storage underneath outside.
And then your favorite small storage unit over here with some drawers. And we came in through what is the bathroom, shower, wet room with pull-out toilet that I've stolen the idea of in ours, and same as coming in through the bathroom. Opposite where we came in is kitchen. So that's a diesel stove.
It's a diesel cooktop with a single burner element, but we make that work.
And then your sink, which you have the water tanks under the bed.
That's right, yeah.
And just storage underneath, and your fridge.
It is a 12 volt.
12 volt, okay. And above your counter space here, kind of the more traditional style of electrical panel.
Yeah, the sort of panel you'd find on a boat, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
So this is marine sort of centric gear.
Yeah.
We love it because you can just look at it and see what's turned on and what's not turned on.
Yeah.
And if you need to change the state, it literally is a flick of a switch. We have our controller for our air and water heater. We have our controller for our diesel stovetop, and then we have very basic tank levels and grey tank levels and battery voltages and consumption and things like that. Yeah.
And then up in the front we have the dinette with the table and the pass-through. And under the front here, you said your batteries are under here?
No, our air and water heaters under here with a little bit of storage, and under the other seat is the electrical cabinet,
right?
Which makes it nice. You can work on that when it's raining outside. 2
ventilation fans and no air conditioning, I think you said, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So fan at the front, fan at the back, and you've been out in the Arizona desert and are still here to talk about it. So didn't require air conditioning, maybe would have been nice.
Yeah. I think one of the things you learn pretty quickly with vans is you learn to live outside the van as much as you do inside. So if the weather's nice, you're often outside.
Yeah. Bunch of different windows with the double sliding screens.
Yep.
Yeah. That's always nice. And these are the windows that you can kind of keep cracked open during the rain because they open from the hinge from the top.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. And a lot of nice lot of windows, and the standing height in here is pretty good. I'm up on the raised part here and just barely, not quite hitting my head, and down there on the main part of the floor there's lots of headspace.
The FUSO FG is a nice, compact, medium-duty 4x4 truck, a platform well-suited for overland travel configuration.
2017?
It's a 2017 truck.
2017.
Delivered in 2018.
And so we have the same 4P10 engine that I have, and same emission systems all in place there underneath and down here. And we're figuring about 31-inch tires. And then you've got your storage boxes up on the roof.
Yeah, so we only put very light,
like
gum boots and rain gear and stuff like that up there.
Which is useful on a day like today when it's raining.
Yeah.
And then you've got a couple of outside access points. You've got your second fridge in here, and then this is your cassette toilet that comes out.
That's the cassette toilet, yeah. So yes, we have our outdoor drinks fridge that can turn into a freezer for longer trips.
Good secondary backup if something goes wrong with the first one. And you've got quite a bit on the back as well. Your tire, a storage box, your Starlink mount, and a secret under a tarp.
That's Caroline's little electric bicycle.
Okay.
It gives her a little bit more freedom when we're camped up for a few
Yeah.
days. The bike is new.
Yeah.
It's only 3 months old, so that swings down.
Okay.
It labels this storage
Okay.
to swing up. Yep.
Gotcha. Traction mats.
And this one hinges at the top,
Yeah.
which is a different way, but yep, and that's
More useful storage.
more useful storage. Yeah.
And then the little ones underneath, are they like recovery?
This one is our onboard air compressor.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And yes, the other one is more for recovery and warning signs and things like that.
Right. You mentioned that this is the fixed top, not a pop top like a lot of the EarthCruisers are. And you preferred that design for the simplicity of less mechanical things to go wrong and less places to leak and all those sorts of...
Yeah, less seals and less movement.
Yeah.
But you know, the compromise is it can't fit in a shipping container anymore.
Right.
So
Right.
So now it's a roll-on, roll-off
Right.
when we go overseas. Yeah, that's our awning.
And is it something that you find you use a lot, or does it usually stay in place?
No, we don't use it very much. We
Okay.
like to park under trees a
Yeah.
lot, and so we get the shade from the trees.
Yeah.
And often it's windy, and those
Right.
awnings don't like the wind. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to have it there, but it doesn't get used very often.
Right. Most important information right there. And how do you find the ride in the cab? I see you've got, these are not stock FUSO seats. Do you find them reasonably comfortable?
No, the ride is super nice. First, you're up nice and high.
Yeah.
You can cab over. The seats are super comfortable. They've got fans and heaters and things
wow.
in the seats.
Super luxury.
Super luxury, and it's a pretty simple cab. So we have a nice little center console here.
Yeah.
We only run a single navigation unit.
Right.
Otherwise, it's pretty much stock FUSO interior.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of sound deadening going on.
Right. Lots of historical documents up above.
Yeah, we do like to collect our patches.
Yeah. And on a typical day, how long do you think you would spend driving?
Yeah, we tend to, we're getting into a bit of a pattern. We like to drive and stay somewhere for 2 days, and then
Right.
maybe the next day we'll only stay in a place for 1 day.
Right.
I like to ideally do less than 150 kilometers or 100 miles a day.
Right.
That's the sweet point for us, unless we've got some commitment, and then we'll
Right.
do a longer day. So we are slowly making our way east at the moment.
The point of this isn't fast travel, right?
No,
It's to
especially-
see places.
It's see places, enjoy places, see people,
Yeah.
interact with the people.
Yeah.
And it's a FUSO, so you're not going anywhere fast anyway.
That's right.
Overland travel is not a new thing for Stephen and Caroline. They have a long history with many different vehicles in lots of different places. To follow along on their adventures, make sure to check out their blog where you'll find more info on Molly 42 with lots of technical and travel info on both their current and their previous adventures. I'll put a link in the video description. So what's unique about this truck?
One of my favorite things, but you don't have to film, but I'm going to turn on our welcome lights, and if you go around the front of the truck, you'll see our lights. And we have that when we see another overlander on the road, we can say hello to them.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. Here's the real question. Have you ever had anyone turn them back at you?
Yes, Overlanders are pretty good at recognizing other
Yeah.
Overlanders on the road. We have a camera in the front. We hardly ever use this, but if you're driving on the other side of the road
Oh, yeah.
and the driver's view is obstructed, this camera enables you to more safely overtake people.
Yeah, that wouldn't have thought of that, but for a global vehicle, that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
My question for you is about this bumper. How do you stop yourself from opening the cab without tipping the bumper down first?
I'm pretty good at doing that.
Okay.
The garages we take them to are not
yeah.
so good at doing that. So fortunately we don't have too many dents on this just yet. But yes, you definitely have to drop the bumper before you tip the cab.
And you just have a memory to make sure you remember to do it.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed. Yeah, we do check the oil daily, literally every day, but you can do that without tipping the cab.
You can do it through the pass-through or from
It's
just in between?
Under the pass-through. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If you have a look.
Just barely reachable.
Yeah.
Through here, the little green handle right there. Winch inside the bumper?
Yes.
That just came factory, did it?
That came, well, EarthCruiser
Yep.
put that on from factory, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had to use it?
We've used it 3 times, but never for ourselves.
That's the next question was it for you or was it pulling somebody else out? So never really got stuck, but definitely helped other people.
Yeah. The nicest thing about the winch is you go places where you might get stuck, which you wouldn't go to if you didn't have a winch, even
That's
if
right.
you never get stuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
42 is the answer to the ultimate question of the meaning
of life, yeah.
So MOL, meaning of life.
Ah.
So Molly 42.
And a whole bunch of other 42 connections that go along with it.
And there just happen to be other 42 connections.
Perfect.
While clearly I still have a long way to go, it's nice to see where we can end up. Stephen and Caroline, thank you so much for reaching out and stopping in on your travels to take the time to provide us all with a little bit of inspiration. Not only seeing such a similar setup, but meeting like-minded people who share the same interests and passion for adventure. I hope this video inspired you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.